Did you just hear me burp? Did you hear that?
I heard something, but it was just when I was coming in, so you're good.
Well, it tasted delicious, I'll tell you that. The second time around.
That's hysterical.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Hello.
How are you?
I'm hot. We're having a heat wave in San Francisco.
Oh, gosh. I'm just so happy that finally our heat wave finally left and we actually have fall weather now.
We have kind of that morning and evening fall, but for some reason it's too hot. And because we're in the Bay Area, nobody has air conditioning or fans or anything.
So what is hot for you guys?
Yeah, I knew you were going to get to that. Do you want me to say?
Well, I'm curious as heck now.
80.
Oh my God.
I knew it. I know we have fans.
80 in San Francisco is hot. 80 in San Francisco is hot.
It's hot.
It is. It's crazy. I don't know what it is, but that's hot. Yeah.
I left SoCal to get out of the heat because I get all melty and then I get super depressed. I don't know why. The heat makes me really depressed.
Well, you're probably sweating. That's why.
Yeah. What is that all about? Because you added in with my lady heats and it's really hot. Lady heats, hot yoga, and a hot day is like, man. Oh, there's Caitlin.
Hi, girls.
Hi.
Hey. How's it going?
Doing good.
Hi.
Good morning, rock stars. Welcome to our special event. Oh my goodness, who is here? I see Debbie's here. Hi, Debbie. Michelle is here. So good to see you, girls. Sherry, Sarah is here. Hey, Sarah. Tuning in from the sunshine. Carol is here. Hi, Carol. And Caitlin, of course. Caitlin, I'm unmuting you. You're here. Hey, welcome. Tina is here in the car as usual. Tina. Tuning in from the car. Nina is here. Sue. Hi, Sue. Awesome. Welcome. We're doing a special event here for you girls today, for you grads. And we're going to get into the details in just a minute. And I'm going to give just a minute for everyone to really just arrive. And while we're all kind of arriving, I am going to pop into the grad group and just give them another little cuckoo. We're here. We're doing this. Come join us. So give me just a minute. And while I'm doing this, I typed in the word join us live and the money symbol just popped up in there at the same time. So I'm just going to leave it in there. I want you to think about your intention for the call today, just for a second. Let me just pop in here into the grad group. Okay. And joining with me here is Caitlin, and we've been having a lot of conversation around energetics. So I'm just going to share a little bit, about what's been coming up for me recently. Welcome, Megan, Angela, and Gerald are here. Who else is joining us? A few people on the phone are joining us as well. This is being recorded. Are we recording this? Yes. Okay. So I'm going to start with a true story. So true story. A few weeks ago, something happened in this house with these two daughters, these two bonus daughters now that I have. And as normal little tweens do, they compete with each other. And they compete for daddy's attention. And one day, it just set me off. It set me off more than it really should have. And I was aware enough to say, hey, you know what, that's not at them, but in conversation with my husband, I'm like, hey, honey, I'm reacting to something here. So let me go in and figure out what this is, okay? Because it's not actually, part of it is what's going on, but part of it is me. And as I started to tune into this, what's really going on, I started to see that there was a pattern in the relationship with, in my own personal life with my mom, my sister, my father, and I, 2 girls. We fought like cats and dogs. And my mother squashed me. Not allowed to be you, jealous of my relationship with my dad. And so I was walking the dogs one day thinking, what the fuck is this? Like, I'm having these conversations. It's going out of spiraling out there. What the fuck? Whose is this anyways? Not even mine. And as I started asking myself this question, it's not even mine. It wasn't even mine. Cut those cords. Send that back to you with love and blessings. And so I started going back in and really doing the energetic cleaning work and investigating what this was really all about. And more layers started coming up around sexuality and creativity, and more and more and more. And competition and betrayal. And how I started to clear out this competition and betrayal and send it back to whoever it was in my family. All of these amazing collaborations came in. Caitlin came knocking on my door and said, hey, Vanessa, psst, I think we should do some of this work around masks and cord cutting and energetics. And I feel like your grads would really fucking benefit in a huge way. And I thought, she could be competition, or this could be a total collaboration. Tune in, check in. How does it feel? It feels great. Okay, yes to collaboration. Now here I am cutting, cleaning out the betrayal, cleaning out the competition. And what shows up are these amazing collaborations. I was invited to become a member of the Evolutionary Business Council with some of the most phenomenally impactful transformational leaders like Deborah Poneman, whose clients were Deepak Chopra, Marcy Shimoff, Jack Canfield. I spent the weekend with her, my good friend now. Natalie Ledwell, who runs Mind Movies, good friend now. She does, multi-million-dollar launches, knows everyone in the industry, great human being. All of these amazing collaborations have come in. And I've been really taking the time and making the space, the safe space, to go and dig out and find out, where are my energetic blocks in all this? Why is my bank account, I'm going to tell myself now, at 250,000 and not more? Why doesn't it go more? What is that all about? Some of you guys might cry and say, fucking champagne problems, Vanessa. But regardless, whatever that limit or that block is for you, if you're not growing, there's a problem there. And so what is it? Okay, so is it something in your family? Is it ancestral? Does it belong to you? Is it something in your field? What is it? So my intention for this call with you here today is to have an open conversation with you and to bring in some of Caitlin's magic and wisdom. And create this really safe, open space and continue to have this very, I feel, important conversation about what is preventing you right now from thriving in your life, in your business, and attracting all of these amazing clients. So here we are. Caitlin, I'm going to pass the baton off to you.
Thank you. Hi, guys. For those of you that don't know me, hi, my name is Caitlin Scott. I was a nobody 6 months ago, just outside of Edmonton, Alberta, and now I have a thriving intuitive business and a mastermind behind it, and I'm having so much fun every freaking day. What happened a couple weeks ago is I was approached by not one, but approximately 9 different people asking me, and not just from this program, other walks of life too, asking me like, why are you having such wild success and I'm not? And I went, what? Like, I had to sit back and check into that for a minute. And I went, wow, this really relates back to all of the work I do with every single one of my clients every single day. And when I really tapped into the energy behind each of the people that reached out to me, and I'm like, this is the same thing that every single other person that's come to me before this is asking for the same reason. And when I looked into this, there's a couple of different layers that I love to work through with people. And I feel everybody who is in this sort of realm, regardless of whether you are directly an energy healer or you are a catalyst for change for any type of person, or you are asking for money from any person across any timeline reality, you really need to be able to show up in the full version of who you be. And one of the things that stops people from choosing to enlist you and your services and choosing to say, I want you to help me on my path, I need your help, is this energetic stop point. It's not just about them, it's also about you. And what I've noticed as a theme is everybody I've worked with who has had some kind of mask that they were wearing, and we'll kind of dig into this, or some kind of belief system that they have bought, sold, tried on, and identified as theirs, which might not have been, they become like these repelling points for people. And if somebody is listening to your words and you're saying all the right things and you're showing up and you're going, I can help you, I know the tools, I know the processes, and there's this little energetic thing sitting behind you going, I don't actually believe I can. I don't know. Am I not worthy of receiving the money from this person? I don't receive very well. Maybe I shouldn't receive. Maybe I can give to them, but they're not going to give to me. You know, all of these walls start getting pushed out from you, okay? And I mean, it's huge, 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 huge. But what happens is every time that you identify one of these pieces and you're able to put it down, it's no longer required as part of your patterning and things you're choosing, somebody latches on to that little energy trail. I literally see these as energy trails. So it's like, I'll choose this pattern. I used to have the pattern of codependency. So when my mother died in 2008, and even growing up, I did not receive the kind of love from her that I desired to receive. It was an incredibly abusive household. And so as such, what I did is I would see other females in my life that would come along and go, oh, we'll love you, we'll look after you, but you have to be like this. You have to be like this expectation of what a daughter should be, but I'll look after you and I'll love you. And I did this multiple times, actually 4 different women. So it was a pattern. And I didn't see it until the last one. But when I laid that down, when I finally went, oh shit, I have been looking outside of myself for love and acceptance and a maternal role outside of me instead of staying in alignment and true to who I be. And I laid that down. All of a sudden, now I have this whole little stream of clients that is like, I have codependency issues with people, whether it's men or women, and they come. So it's like you leave this energetic trail and then somebody feels it and they go, oh, she or he, hi Gerald, is on the other side of that. They get it. They can walk where I've been walking. They know how to get me to the other side, and look, she's thriving because of it.
That's right. So as you clear your own shit, you know, you're going to attract people that are just a couple steps behind you.
Yeah.
And they turn on to that, they tune into that, the more you are being, the more real, the more you can talk about that, the more you're not charged by that story. And I feel like that's really what it means to be a leader. You know, as you work on your own shit, clear your own stuff, you show up with that much more wisdom, insight to then share with others.
Sometimes it's a little hard. Like, I get it, you guys. It takes a level of courage to show up. And I mean, there's almost 700 women in my group now, and I will go on these live videos and be like, guys, guess what happened in my life today? I just realized I am the biggest asshole because. And I will actually talk to them about the masks that I figured out or the patterns that I was using, and I lay it down. Every single time I do that, somebody has walked right behind and given me their credit card to come and have me be their mentor.
So write that down. You know, share your shit. She said, every mask that I come across, that I lay down, I will go and I will tell people, hey, listen, I'm an asshole. Here's what I did. Here's what I discovered. And people will knock on your, this is really authenticity, right? That's what this is. We're having this conversation. If you're just joining us, Caitlin was a graduate of our 8-week boot camp, blew it out of the fucking park, attracted 25 clients in 8 weeks, launched her mastermind, filled it. Never been a coach before. You were doing energy work and healing. So how did this happen? What was, what are the markers? So, let's talk a little bit about how you tune in to uncover, that energy trail, as you call them, or the patterns.
Yeah, for sure. So the first thing I start doing, you guys, is I look at all the things that have happened in the course of my life that seem to be showing up as the same lesson over and over and over again. So for example, you get a bunch of money, you get yourself on your feet, whack, you're back down on the floor. You think you got something going on, it's going really good, whack, you're back down on the floor, where you keep self-sabotaging. Or it could be relationships. You find this dude who you think is amazing. The first month is awesome. You guys are wildly in lust. And then all of a sudden you realize he's a narcissistic jerk.
You find out he's the same guy, just like every other guy, just with a different color hair. So this happened in my life. This is what the Take Your Power Back Now book and movement started out as. Realizing, healing that I spent 8 years with a narcissist who nearly killed me in a hotel room. My mother, guess what? Was a narcissist who nearly fucking killed me.
Yeah.
Literally squashed me. You cannot be you. You cannot be... I would have conversations with her. I would call her out on her shit because I would rebel wildly. You cannot tell me I'm not allowed to be me. I'm going to fucking unleash on you, lady. And she would tell me, you should be a psychologist. Avoidance. And then I recreated the exact same pattern in this man who was a combination of my mother and my father. So it will come back and harass you. And life will become more and more intense until you pay attention to it and clear it. And it took me a while to do that. And when I did, I attracted the most amazing man. I just got married to the most phenomenal man. To this day, him, I'd point to my ring, but it has nothing to do with the ring, But him, he is amazing. And he also was in a relationship with a narcissist for 12 years. We get each other. We totally get each other. He is another creature. He's a totally different creature. So the patterns, right? What you react to. And it can be in your relationships. It could be in your business. Again, your business is just a reflection of it's just an expansion of your energy.
Vanessa, that's a good word to talk about when you said what you react to. So, and I sometimes will say react or have a charge to. So you can think about the different scenarios that happen in your life where you're like, "Gah!" and it just spins you the fuck out. Like you cannot keep your shit together. That is a really good indicator of somewhere where you have some kind of energetic imprinting. I have a really amazing energy healer friend up here. And I was just talking to her the other day because she's gone through all of the courses to now add hypnotism to her plethora of services that she can do. And she was talking about, every single thing that you have had happen to you in this lifetime, and depending on your belief system, those past, every single time you've had an emotional charge, an emotional reaction to something, whether positive or negative, you hit the save button. You hit save and you grab it and it goes into your energy field.
That's right. Your subconscious mind, your field, is always being downloaded by the dominant feeling and thought. And it's a recording and a playback device. That's what your subconscious does. Your field, it downloads, records. So unless you're going in and deleting, it's just playing back the same frequency.
Exactly. So it's kind of like, I look at it now like going on a treasure hunt. I used to get so annoyed because I'd be like, oh, look, another ugly part of me. Now I'm like, ooh, look at this pattern that I get to blow up. And what is this going to create now? Because I've seen every single time that I've done this, it's changed. So that would be the first thing I would tell you guys to do. Look at all of the areas in your life where you are choosing the same type of thing over and over and over again. Write it down. Write some of the key details of not the story of it, but the key details of how you chose the same pattern over and over again. Then I would be looking at what gets a really big charge out of you. I was talking to a lady the other day, and what gets a really big charge out of her is when people have to cancel and rebook their appointments. It's like the craziest little thing. And I'm like, life happens. But to her, that's like the end of the world. And we went, okay, cool. Where did this come from? And it was that constant abandonment originally from her parents in this lifetime of, we'll show up and we'll come to your dance recitals, we'll come to your softball game, and they never showed up for her. And so now when other people don't show up, she takes it as this emotional slight to her. And she was going, I'm not worthy. Nobody loves me. Nobody wants to come see me. And that's not what it was at all. But that's how emotionally it was charged.
Okay. So here's the deal, right? We're meaning-making machines. So let's just run a quick little exercise right now. It's just for everyone on here, and I'll preface it. I'll tell you my little experience, but I want you to pull, and you don't have to share this in the chat if you don't want to. But what did she do, Caitlin? She made it mean something. Okay, so let's go with that. So your earliest uncomfortable memory. Your earliest uncomfortable memory. What was it? And what happened? Just take a minute, jot it down on a piece of paper. Your earliest uncomfortable memory.
I'll share mine so that other people can be vulnerable too if they choose. The first one I remember, because I blocked out most of my childhood, was my mother trying to kill my sister and I in a vehicle in the garage, leaving it running for a couple hours and trying to off us at 8 years old. That was the first one I remember. Vanessa's like, holy fuck.
Oh yeah, I thought mine was bad. This is like,
yeah.
So what did you make that mean?
What I made that mean at that point was nobody loved me. And at that time, my dad had come in and rescued us from the vehicle. So I was like, oh, dad has to be the savior. And 2 days later, he threw a coffee table at my head and I had to go get massive stitches because I was too loud. So what I made it mean is that nobody could love me. I had to be on my own. I didn't require to have these parents, and that I had to figure out how to survive without anybody else. So I pushed everybody away. Right? I also wore this mask. I call it the mask of being the chameleon. And so I would put this mask on, and I mean, from the time I was a child to about 22 years old, I couldn't even tell you what kind of music I liked. I couldn't tell you what I enjoyed doing. I couldn't tell you what kind of clothes I actually desired to wear because I would just mimic whatever everybody else was doing to not be seen so that I wouldn't get into more trouble. So not only did the point of trauma cause some different behaviors, I also put a mask on so that I wouldn't be seen. I wouldn't have to show up. I wouldn't have.
So thank you for sharing that. I mean, this is wild. I mean, this fascinates me. So as everyone's sharing here and typing down, you know, your actual first uncomfortable memory, I want you now to go and ask yourself the question. Just take a minute here. What did I make it mean? What did I make it mean? Just take some time to tune in. This thing happened. Some people are writing down, Dad paid more attention to my sister. My parents got divorced. Your most uncomfortable first memory. And then you can also ask yourself, how did you feel? How did you feel in your body? I'll share mine. Okay, this is great. You guys are having some insight about this now. This is going to give you some wonderful insight to clear. So my first memory, I was 3 years old. This is actually a funny memory, but shit. 3 years old, I go Easter egg hunting with my parents. I forget my underpants, forget my panties. So I'm bending over to pick up all these Easter eggs and flashing everybody my hoo-ha, okay? Now you're laughing. Yeah, it's fucking funny. It's hysterical. But I felt so embarrassed, okay? and I made it mean that I'm exposed. It's not safe to be exposed. Not safe. Not safe. And so I wear this mask of, I'll fucking kill you. I'll kill you. I'm that strong. I'm that powerful. I'm that rah. You know, there's always I'm an Amazon and I'll fucking kill you. There's always that mask of, I will, if you threaten me in any, I will be so over threatening, I'll fucking kill you even before you even start to fucking get to know me. Dead. Not safe to be exposed. Not safe to be out there, which incidentally, I help most of my clients with the, you know, so where there's the wound, there's also the greatest light. You know, and a lot of the work that I do is teaching women how to overcome these visibility blocks. I had them big time. So just wanting to tune in to everybody here. I hope you guys have some, does everybody have something here? Checking in the chat box. Everyone's saying, whoa. So there's some core dialogue. What is that inner dialogue that you guys have been having? How did you feel during that moment? And then what did you make it mean? That's going to give you some insight. And then what, Caitlin?
Well, let's go to a really random discussion of what if it were possible? What if it were possible that before you even decided to become a child of your parents, and you were this little invisible creature up in the sky, you had this really amazing idea to learn a particular set of lessons coming down to this earth? What if some of these wound points are all in alignment with the things you actually desire to learn, to be able to bring more empathy, to have more compassion, to be an amazing teacher, to be an amazing healer? What if it were possible that some of these things, especially as patterns, did not actually happen to you, but you actually partially said, I need you guys on my team to help me get this. I need to learn for myself, like thinking through my mass, I need to learn what my belief systems are. I need to learn about sovereignty, and I also need to learn about receiving and being an allowance. What if it were possible that these things that you guys have had happen within your life, you've actually chosen? And this is where I do cord cutting very differently than majority of the energy healers I know. What I ask people to do at this point, once you've identified one of these, is to kind of just close your eyes and go into your body and take a really deep breath and just examine all the points where it feels a little bit sticky with this. And it could feel like, some people explain it like having a cord, having a really heavy or dense spot. Some people can actually see the energy cord. It depends on the person. And I ask them to actually give gratitude to the person who helped them figure out these lessons, who helped them stand on their feet and helped them actually learn that they don't need to carry this pattern forward anymore. Check mark, got the t-shirt, done. You don't need to take it. Normally when I do clearings, I go in and I energetically help everybody do that. Like, I can tap into people's energy fields and help. That's just one of my capacities that I'm really good at. Debbie knows. I've done a bar session on Debbie. She's like, yeah, it's weird, right? But she can actually feel.
They say that you have 20 generations in your field. There are 20 generations of your family that you carry in your energetic field, and your energetic imprint, and light comes through this being, this vessel that we have, and expresses that. The beliefs, the thoughts, the feelings, the energetic patterns, energy comes through our vessel and expresses.
Yeah.
So
you not only have that energy expressing through your DNA and your ancestral line, you also have it through your whole soul attachments and your whole soul family and everybody you've ever touched across any lifetime, and all the agreements you've made with anybody across any and all lifetimes. And so one of my things that I really love watching people do is start to identify these patterns, because they all attach back for a reason. And you actually installed them and gave them permission to be there. This is where you have to really take personal accountability for this and turn around and be like, whoa, I actually kind of chose some of this. I actually kind of chose to have this pattern install and get thrown in my face over and over and over again. And look at all these amazing people that showed up and kept being the little actors in my game over and over and over again until I got it. Like, I have so much gratitude now to all these stark ass crazy women who pretended to be my mom, because wow, look at all the amazing things I learned. I actually have my own beliefs. I actually get to be my own sovereign being. I don't actually have to be anything anybody ever tells me to be, right? Like, I had all of these things that I was like, whoa. And as soon as I identified that, and I found kind of where the cords of attachment were, and I can kind of explain that. Vanessa, you might have a different point of view on this, so we can round table that, because that's a fun discussion to have. And as soon as I allowed myself to energetically separate from that, like, my business has taken off. I mean, now, when did I start? July, August, September. I'm 3 months in, and I have 40 women that I coach one-on-one and in my mastermind, right? Like, it just went, and all it took was me going, oh, I actually don't need to wear this mask of being codependent. I'm actually a pretty cool woman all by myself, right? So, cords. Lots of you guys are energy healers, yeah? Reiki healers, been in the metaphysical world, yeah. So cords are really interesting. I see cords as, when they're healthy, they're doing this. So I have energy exchange. So let's say Vanessa and I have a cord going now, because we have communicated quite a few times. Vanessa and I have a cord doing this, and we communicate, right? If at any time that changes and it becomes, let's just give the example, me only giving to her, what would happen is the cord would actually be anchored from me, and it changes from looking from this crystalline cord for me to looking almost like a sewer pipe, where it's literally kind of sucking the life out of me and the other person. I'll use the word an energy vampire. Has anybody ever had one of those in their life? You're around them and then you're just freaking exhausted, and then you're still not around them and you're still exhausted. It's one of those like sewer pipes. It's a cord that's not healthy. There's no energetic exchange back to you. It's only one way out. We give permission to people. This is hard to wrap your heads around. We give permission to people to attach cords. They cannot do it unless we say yes. And it didn't necessarily happen in this lifetime. Okay, and whatever your beliefs around that, I'm okay. If you don't believe that you reincarnate, I don't really care, but it didn't necessarily happen in this lifetime. And so we can not only be dealing with energetic cords from this lifetime and patterning that's going back and forth from those, we can deal with ones that are happening from our ancestral lines, from things we've already chosen prior. These cords are something that, regardless of whether these people that we're trying to sign up into our programs or in our groups, whatever, if they're not fully conscious, subconsciously, they can feel it.
Everybody, listen. Everybody can feel everything subconsciously. Everything is energy. So you are an energy walking around a bunch of energies. Everyone can pick up how desperate you feel on the phone for sales, how open you are, how trusting you are, how connected you are, how sure you are, how confident you are. People, they pick up on all these vibes.
Yep. So when you have these things installed and you haven't taken them out of your energy field and really examined, why did I actually choose this? What is the lesson? And here's the thing, you don't even have to have the lesson mastered yet. You just have to have the full awareness of what it was so that you can start choosing differently. This is the coolest thing about it. Just because you've previously been choosing narcissistic relationships and you haven't yet found one that's amazing, doesn't mean that you can't remove the cords to the previous narcissist in your life and not reinstall it.
That's right, because your life is happening via decision. Every time you make a decision, you wield your power, you create something new. So if you're tuning into, oh, that's a pattern, I'm deciding something new around it. It's a decision.
Yeah. And, people make it really, really complicated. It's not. It's just a choice. It's a choice every single moment. One of my good friends, she always says to me, like, what would it be like if you were willing to operate in every 10 seconds instead of every 24 hours. I'm like, that's a lot of choices in a day. That's a lot of choices in a day where you can just boom, 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 and you don't have to choose one thing and stick to it. So thinking about the patterns that you guys have identified, because I know I can like see some of your energy fields being like little squirrels turning in your heads. Thinking about some of the patterns you guys have been choosing, what could you identify as, we'll use the word label of sorts, of what the core lesson may have been around that pattern? Like if you were to think about, wow, if I was to actually choose differently from always wearing the same clothes, eating the same food, and listening to the same music as these people, even though I don't think it actually feels good, what is the core lesson around this? Okay. Just chew on that for a second. And then what would it take for you to make a different choice? What would it take for you to actually say, I'm going to put on a cardigan today and not wear a skateboarder shirt, whatever it is, right? That's what it was for me. It was like I was wearing border shirts. I was like, I can't even skateboard. I don't even like skateboarding, but I was dressing like a skateboard kid. Isn't that nerdy? Vanessa's looking at me like, you doofus.
No, 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 no. I love it. I love that you're sharing, so I'm asking myself the same question, what are the two questions again?
So you're asking yourself with your patterns, what would be the core label question? What would be the core lesson that you would learn if you were to choose differently from this particular pattern that you're enacting? And then the second question is, what would it take for me to choose differently right now? What is that action step? Adina's just saying, I don't understand the first question.
Yeah, so what is the core lesson?
So it's like, Adina, if you're looking at, and I mean, if you want to unmute and talk about a couple of your patterns for a second, you're welcome to. We can kind of like almost facilitate through it quickly because it will be good. And if you don't want to, that's fine.
Sure.
Okay, go for it. What are you pulling up?
My very first memory I put in the chat was being locked in a room for being a bad girl. So maybe I was 3 years old. My behavior, I don't even remember what it was, obviously, but I just remember being locked in the room, pounding and screaming at the door. And so I felt abandoned, unworthy, ungood enough, unlovable. I didn't perform. I didn't do something that made my mom happy. So I was being punished and locked away for that.
Okay, and so how, from that event happening when you were very small, how did you choose to have that show up when you were now a little bit older, let's say 9, 10, 11, 12? How did that behavior morph?
Be good or you're going to get in trouble, unwanted, still abandoned.
In terms of your mother, were you constantly trying to appease her? Were you trying to be the one who's always going in over above, like the overachiever?
Yeah, definitely the overachiever, performer, perfectionist, yeah.
Right. And so now how is that carried forward into your adult life?
Oh, everything. The way I feel like people perceive me. I want to like knock everything out of the water. I want to make everybody happy, people pleasing. Yeah. Also causes me, when I make a decision, I vacillate back and forth. Like if I want to be strong, if I want to be like my inner badass Vanessa kind of thing, I find myself, whoa, well, not owning it, because then I go back and forth because is that really the right decision? Because am I going to make so-and-so happy? Even though I really want to make me happy, I've been worried more about making other people happy.
Truth. Have you also been worried about making Vanessa happy? Has Vanessa also turned into another maternal figure for you where you feel like you have to perform? Okay, so everything that brings up, are you willing to destroy and uncreate tons of Godzillion?
Yeah, I know that you hit that because as soon as you said it, it just hit my heart. Like, yeah.
Uncreate, destroy,
yeah.
10 dimension, space, and realities. Whew, okay, that was like heavy. So here's the thing. You also have this people pleasing. So you're showing up as this person who needs to be right, perfect, and on it all the time.
Mhm.
And you're wearing a similar mask that I was in terms of the codependency. So now it's not mom you're appeasing. Now you're looking at another female who's giving you attention, right? And Vanessa, I love you, but now we're like facilitating this. Who's giving you attention? You're like, I have to appease her too, and I have to perform for her. So everywhere you don't believe that you can actually perform just for you, for your standards, for the way you want to show up, for the way you want to serve in this world, are you willing to destroy and uncreate tons of gazillion?
Yes.
Destroy, uncreate, and delete across all time, dimension, space, and realities. So
Yes.
I'm like, my little head is like, I feel like I have 1,000 flies crawling over it right now. I just feel like, for you, what's happened is this energetic patterning from this thing that happened when you were very, very small. You've now created a series of events and thought patterns behind it that you're enacting not only in this part of your life, but how does it show up in your home? How does it show up in your friendships? See, the thing is, we can't actually just carry a point of view in one area of our life. It carries over into everything.
It's a pair of glasses that you wear and everything is green or purple. It shows up in your money, in your relationships, everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. The other thing with you is I want to ask you, do you have siblings?
Yeah.
Okay. What was your way of coping with the way they got treated versus how you got treated in your lensing?
In my lens, it just reinforced like something's wrong with me, because if we were spanked or whatever, I would literally count how many times, you know, she got it. And I even told her this, like, you got it less than I did. I felt like I got more of the brunt of everything. So I was the badder one. I was the worser one. I was the more deserving of being treated badly, because the actions seemed, my brain, my lens showed me that I got it worse than everybody else, because I was the oldest, or I was like just the most volatile. I tried to stand up for myself, but when I did, I got smacked and hit more, because I was really trying to take my power back as a little girl. And to her, my mom, that was being rebellious, and she wanted to squash that, because you just don't do that.
So now what happens, like, you have this phenomenal business building. You've done like what, $25,000 in 2 months? Like, you're on fire. What happens when you turn around now and you're like, sup, mom, look what I'm doing?
Honestly, I don't even share with her. I ever since I started this program, I've cut the ties, because you talk about that black pipe. That's what it feels like, energy sucker. I don't feel like she's genuinely happy for me, my new home. There's like jealousy, competitiveness, and why can't that happen to her? We both had these weight loss surgeries. She's still 300 pounds at 5'0". So it's like, well, this only works for you, not for me. So I can't handle the excuses all the time. We have the same opportunities, but I've done something different with my life than she has. So it's just constant negativity. So I guess to answer your question, I'm really like trying to be okay with not having a relationship with her, like texting to see how you're doing every couple weeks, but that's it. Like, your fingers aren't broken. If you want to call me, you can call me.
Isn't that a funny phenomenon? Like, that one drives me nuts sometimes. Anyways, okay, so truth. Do you have, I'm going to use the word negative cord still attached to your mother, that if you were to open up conversation, she has complete control over?
I wouldn't say complete, because I feel like I'm stronger in there, but lingering, when we leave, I'd probably replaying conversations. So yes, there's definitely some type of attachment there. And my sister too. Everything's codependent. Like, my sister's the mediator, the peacemaker, and then I'm worried about what my sister thinks about how I'm treating my mom or what I'm doing in my family. So I'm seeking approval from my younger sister. I'm the oldest, my younger sister, and my mom still. Like, even making all this money, I feel like I can't tell them, because I think they would judge me.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Like, what I would love to do with you is take those, really dive into all the facets of that. Like, what are all the lessons triggering around there? pull that out. And then what has to happen, and this is so fascinating, you guys, like I'll tell you this little story. I have this client, her name is Lynn, and we went and did a clearing between her and her husband, who she loves very much dearly. They're still in a relationship, but this was a situation where he was constantly controlling the money, telling her she couldn't show up and do the things because then she wasn't looking after the kids or the home, and you know, they really wanted to homeschool, blah, 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 blah. And I just said to her, you know what's really fascinating? If we just cut this one energy cord, your whole game's gonna have to change, because you're gonna have to take on your whole persona and he's gonna have to react differently. Well, Lynn wanted to come to the retreat I was doing this winter in January, and she's like, her husband would not give her the money, and she's not working, she has no control over it. And I said, you know what, just for fun in this session, like, do you want to do this? Truth, are you ready to remove that cord where he actually gets to pull and dictate every single movement? And so we did that, and I shit you not, 15 minutes later, she called me, and she's like, my husband just called me on his break from work and gave me the money for the retreat because he told me how important it was to her. Like,
Wow.
it's fast, and they have to evolve. The instant you change, the other people attached to these cannot be the same player in your game anymore because they don't have the same energetic pull, or they don't have the same reason to be enacting the same role they previously were because of the lessons you chose and the contracts you created behind it.
Yeah.
If one person lets go of the rope, what happens?
Mm.
There's no more struggle. There's no more game.
I love that.
holding the rope, and that's it. There's no more.
It really is taking your power back. They don't have to do it. You're just saying, I'm not holding on to the rope anymore.
And that's literally what cord cutting is. I don't actually even look at it as cutting. I hate that word because to me, a lot of times, and especially in the metaphysical communities, what's happened is they've taught people to go on the outside of their body and cut these cords away. But the thing is, it's actually kind of anchored everywhere in our energetic field. And so what I choose to look at it as, and how I energetically remove it, is I go in and I unwind. I see it like these screws or these roots that I go and help people pull out. And we completely pull it out of your energy field. So it, like Vanessa said, it literally is giving them the cord back. It's like,
I'm ready.
Don't need
I'm
that
ready.
Right?
That's
So
awesome.
Well, it's a good thing you're ready, Adina, because Kayla and I have been having conversation about her coming on and doing this work within the year-long program. And both of you girls are part of the Bikini Business Mastermind, the year-long program. So,
And we're both rocking it.
and you're both rocking it. And we felt like this was really the missing piece.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know, this is really the missing piece for a lot of women to just show up, you know, without the masks, without the pieces that are unconsciously repelling, you know, clients, or just allowing them to show up as who they are and be seen and be okay. And Kaylin came knocking and said, hey, I think this would really take it to a whole other level and help a lot of your graduates, you know, come and join your year-long program. So Tina says, this is hugely important for me. Yeah. How fantastic. Lee says, yeah. So we want to, you know, we want to let you know that we're going to be doing more of this work in our year-long program. That's one thing. Caitlin will be facilitating that. And the other thing we wanted to do is, you know, invite you all, wherever you're at, to have a session with Caitlin and actually experience this, you know, as kind of like a one-time offer, with the intention that, you know, you get rid of these freaking cords, you know, dissolve them, clear the masks, and then come and continue this amazing fucking work and this expansion and build, you know, the teams, the systems, and really move your work out there in a much bigger way to really do what you came here to do.
can I add something to that, Vanessa?
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that I watched, and I walked beside many of you working through the 8-week boot camp, was that a lot of these patterns and a lot of these masks were coming forward as you were very much mimicking what was being put in front of you, instead of being willing to actually show up and who you be and put your stamp on the systems that were given in front of you. Question I always ask myself and I throw back at people is, I wonder what it would create if you took the things, the tools, the lessons, the information that was given to you, and you were actually willing to be you with them. what would it create if you were willing to actually drop the masks, drop the barriers, show up as you 100%? What would that create for you in your business? Right? Because here's the thing. I walked through this. Adina walked through this. There are other women walking through this who have been wildly successful. And I'll tell you right now what the difference is between me and a lot of people is that every single time one of these things come up, I do the work. I go, where did this come from? What is this about? What is this block? What is this pattern? Boom, blow it up. What is stopping me from showing up and being me? What is this fear? What is this little leech? And I work on it. And that is the difference between why I have people literally banging at my door. I'm full for October, you guys. I now have a waiting list for people to get into me for November. I am literally full.
So this is another dimension of, taking a radically honest look at what's there, taking radical responsibility for it, and having enough radical self-love to do something different, to make a different choice around this. So Caitlin, let everyone know, your offer. You're making an offer today to work with you in, a cord cutting, clearing session. So let everyone know about that.
Sure. So what we had kind of decided was that if you guys do want to do that with me, I am happy to open spots in my schedule to do so. We will walk through one-on-one all the shit you're going through. You can lay it out on the table. And I am really good at seeing exactly what you are trying to hide from me. Sorry, joys of being a psychic medium. And I am really good at helping you guys pull those little stupid anchors and leeches out of your energy systems to blow it up. The sessions are usually about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on how much is in there. I usually block that much time for you. We're doing this one for $100 US a session. And normally I charge about 150. So I'm doing this kind of to help you guys out if you desire it.
And even $100 a session, come on. You clear an energetic pattern and, your partner, your divine partner could show up. You clear an energetic pattern and 25 fucking clients can show up. The consequences, and it's not consequences like a bad connotation word, but the result, of removing an energetic pattern in your life or a cord, I mean, it's exponential. Holy smokes. What the hell is possible from here on in?
Yeah, it's really cool. And oh man, you guys, what's on the other side of every single one of these silly little masks that we've put on and these little patterns, like I can't even explain to you. I get up every single day now and I am so excited to show up, to be who I be and do what I do. And it's possible for all of you. Like you guys have all pinpointed something you really desire to show up on this planet and be and do. There's just these little tiny things that are sitting in your way that just need to get zapped out of your energy field. Just be done with it, right? So.
And if you are in our year-long program, Caitlin will be doing a session with you. So you don't have to, and she'll be doing them on a regular basis. But for everyone here, do you have a link that people can or go to or a website?
Yeah, you know what I'll do is, I'll give you.
Everyone's saying, this is so authentic and amazing. So unbelievably affordable. Thank you so much. Where can we sign up? How amazing when you follow your intuition. How amazing.
So if you guys want to do that, and you can book on that link, and then we'll organize it all.
What link?
I just threw it. Oh, I just gave it to Adina privately. Adina, you sent me a private message and now I got to retype this again. Hold on.
Yeah, it shifts between personally and everyone. So she'll pop it in the chat box. Does anyone have any questions regarding this or any insights or any anything you want to share? Anything that came up for you? Anything you're really excited to tackle and work on? Here's another piece while you guys are typing this in the chat box. Mother and money are the same thing. So I've had a really strenuous relationship with my mother. It's been so many layers of the onion to peel and heal and layers and cords, and there's more. How amazing. Look at your life like a scientist. But your money in your life is like the nourishment of your mother. All right. So if you've had a strenuous, and I don't believe anybody here on this call is is not an evolved fucking hyper conscious rock star. Okay. I think all of you guys are so amazingly courageous. I think you're all phenomenal spiritual rock stars. I really do. And so if there's been a relationship with your mother, particularly, this is going to impact your relationship to nourishment, to money. What is the symbol of money in the society? So there's another, slice of the piece that, you may choose to work on. And again, this whole conversation here today is a result of me reacting to something and taking a look at, wow, who does this belong, and releasing that cord and having, instead of feeling, the mask of I'm going to fucking kill you, be fiercely protective, I'm going to invite collaboration instead of competition and betrayal. What amazing healing is now possible for everyone here. I mean, this fascinates me. It is wild, and the layers continue to kind of unravel. So everyone's saying yes. What time zone is this in? The link goes to a 30-minute session. Is that what we book? I'm excited to work on my shit.
Yeah, you guys, it's fine. If you want to book in there, I'll just adjust it in my scheduler as soon as I get it. So just put it for the start time, and I'll just link it in on my own calendar. It's all good. Yeah. And it's Mountain Standard. I am up in Alberta, Canada. So that's nice.
I also want to share another little piece, okay? Because I believe I asked for, I asked for synchronicities and magic and miracles, and for life to meet my set new standards, and for life to meet my standards, God, source, spirit, universe, whatever you call that, higher power, in magical ways. I want magic in my life, and synchronicity. Synchronicity is a little sparkle of magic. So when Medina came kind of knocking in on this, I'm just going to mute all, and then and I'll unmute you again, Caitlin, just because there's some clicking. Hold on. How do I find that? Okay, there you are. So here's how life and synchronicity show up. Many, many years ago, when I got started on this journey, wanting to do this work as a law of attraction coach / mix, sales happen. I did a course called Enlightened List Building. And there was a woman in my program who we became, power partners, accountability partners with. Her name was Elisa Starkweather. This woman had like streak white in her hair, and she was a women's empowerment leader. She led these 250 women, Goddess of the Earth gathering, women whooping around a fucking fire at night, wearing costumes and being freaking full out women. And she blew my socks off. I was like, good God, who is this? Who I want to be you. You blow my fucking socks off. And in this program, we got together and I said, yeah, this is your offer, boom, 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 and bam, 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 and there you go. And holy smokes. And she was like, fuck, that's brilliant. Will you come and speak at my event at this Daughters of the Earth gathering? And I show up there the first time ever with all these women doing this wailing rock and emotional freaking clearing, and had a time of my life, really like sisterhood, like holy smokes, what an amazing community. And she introduced me as like, oh, and wait till you all meet Vanessa, and asked me to do a, abundance kind of / marketing, a talk about that. And it was wild. And then she hired me, and I helped her make some offers from the stage. She made her investment back within 3 days, and then we put together an online program, and I think she did like $42,000 or $47,000 of revenue. And then I launched my business, empowering other women's empowerment leaders and healers to own that and sell that. That's how my business, that's really what happened way back, and we're going back like 8 to 10 years here. And so Kaylin came kind of, knocking and knock, knock, knock. Hey, I think this is really cool. And I'm like, I don't know really what to do here. I don't know what to do, but I don't know. But let's just take a look at this. And mentioned, hey, I'm graduating from this. Is it okay that I share this?
Yeah, go for it.
You, Caitlin, yeah. I'm graduating from this, year-long apprenticeship with Elisa Starkweather. So I was like, wow, isn't that a cool circle synchronistic comeback around magical little moment? So I just wanted to share that with you, I just wanted to share that with you, that there is a reason for everything, that those little moments of synchronicity, your intuition, to lean in with that and to trust that. That's another really big piece of all of this. And I built my business, this one here, off of intuition. I didn't have credit cards. I had to get a client and make the money and then reinvest and continuously follow my intuition and continuously, is that right? Check in. Yes. Doesn't make sense. I don't know why I should go to this event. I have no idea why. Who the fuck, here it goes. Oh my gosh. This is scary. I don't know why, but I need to do this. Who knows why? I need to move to this freaking country. Who knows why? I need to get in this fucking boat and go here, or whatever it is. But to really lean in and trust that. And all the magic is there. So thank you, Caitlin, and for all of you here for being a part of this, this amazing movement. This is the juicy. This is really juicy, to see what's possible. When we move past the blocks and we really trust and lean in. Anything else you want to mention, share, comment on, Caitlin, before we go? We're at the top of the hour.
Yeah, Sarah just asked a question quick in the chat there. She just said her client is having trouble with a clearing disappointment exercise. And honestly, Sarah, the first charge I got is that she hasn't actually touched to the root of the problem. And what I would do with her is I would do exactly what we just did today. I would go back and say, okay, truth, let's talk about all the shit that actually happened when you were like 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. How is that showing up as you walk forward? And then ask her to walk through it again. You'll probably get a different result.
So Louise also asking, Vanessa, how did you had no credit cards? Did you keep not going into scarcity? That's a great question. I was doing a lot of work when I ended that relationship. The only reason I have a business today, is because that narcissist nearly killed me in a hotel room, woke me the fuck up, and I said, I am ending that, and I'm going to take the next year and heal every single area of my life. That was my intention. And I went at it ruthlessly with all kinds of flashlights, hunting gremlins, doing inner work. I joined, I thought that the issue in my problem was about alcoholism. My dad was, did drugs, and he was an artist, fucking drank, he did drugs. There was a lot of alcoholism in my family. I went to Children of Alcoholics Anonymous. I discovered, all they want to do is sit in their problem for like 25 years. And I'm like, geez, I'm not into that. But that was a good I did all kinds of things, all kinds of work. And when I was able to, not let that narcissist take up all my attention and energy, wow, could I focus it on all different kinds of things? And so I, started taking my power back and healing and following and trusting my intuition. And, that's how I built my business. So it was a real trusting and a leaning in, and every time I trusted my intuition, every time I hired a mentor, every time I leaned in some more and I leaned in some more to what was right, even though it was scary, more would show up. And I would attract clients that were, right behind me, that were wanting to know that last little piece that I had done.
One way that I have taught people using that exact thing to be able to get the answers a little bit quicker and get out of their own way is I give them 2 questions and 2 questions only. You go, truth, is XYZ going to create more for me? Truth, is XYZ going to create more for the planet? And if I get yes, yes, or if it feels like expansive, so sometimes I train people this way. I say, take your name. Truth, my name is Caitlin. And I get this light, yep, yeah, it is. Truth, my name is Vanessa. That's a lie, right? So then I'll ask, truth, will it create more for me to do this webinar with Vanessa today to offer this stuff to these people? Big expansive energy. Truth, will it create more for the planet? right? So then I go, okay, I'll do it. I don't care that I might be shitting my pants and holy shit, I'm going to talk to people I don't even know that don't know my work. And what if Vanessa judges me? What if she thinks I'm crazy and woo-woo? You know, I just shut all that up and show up, because as soon as those questions get answered and it's like, yes, yes, expanding, I go. I don't care what the price tag is. I don't care what my fears were. I go. And every single time I have followed that, it has been massive expansion. So truth, is it going to create more for me too? And then truth, is it going to create more for the planet?
And I like that you can muscle test that as well. If you guys are into muscle testing, I like that putting truth before. Truth, is this going to make me money? Or truth, is this going to serve me more? Is this going to, will it create more for the planet? I bought a painting the other day. I'm not a painting, it's a sketch, it's a drawing. I posted it in our other group. I might post it here as well. And I asked myself, like, why this picture arrested me. It arrested me. I was walking through this music festival. I was, oh my God. Holy good God. You know, I got to have this. Is this going to make me money? Yes, buy it. Let's go. You know? I like that, asking questions. Is this good for me? Is another way to pinpoint your intuition. You can also use muscle testing. So that's another great tool. Anybody else have any last minute comments or questions? I think this has been a really outstanding, very timely, I think, for a lot of people, if I'm reading here in the chat, conversation. I'm really excited for what comes of this. Really excited. So thank you, Caitlin, for stepping up and having the courage to be like, hey, knock, 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 Vanessa. What do you think about this? Serene says, so glad we co-created this. Thank you for this training, ladies, says Sarah. Awesome, awesome. Great. This was awesome. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we'll post the replay. You know, we'll send this out to everyone as well. I encourage you guys to use that link that Caitlin posted in the chat and schedule a session with her and clear all the freaking, you know, cords and all of the entanglements and all the other things that are really preventing you guys from showing up as authentically you. I'd say that, you know, it's on my first book, Authenticity is the New Currency in Business. That's what people want. I just went, you know, to a 2.5-day deep dive with some of the world's most biggest transformational leaders and influential leaders. And one of the key topics was, hey, you just be more of you. You just keep showing up and show more of you. You know, there's this guy there named Daniel Gutera. He's a shaman, and he speaks with, what's a guy, the 4 agreements?
Don Miguel Ruiz.
Don Miguel Ruiz. And so this other guy, Daniel Gutierrez, he used to consult the White House. He used to consult President Obama. And he was a super huge super fucking huge dude in the, you know, consulting department. And he fucking cut it all off and sliced it all off to go out into the jungle and do all kinds of like medicine work and really let this shaman out, you know. And he gets hired by, like, you know, Mercedes-Benz and IBM and all these big companies. And when, you know, he said in the beginning, he said, I didn't know how to do this work in that arena. And I showed up with the blue suit and the freaking red tie and, you know, the white crisp shirt and, you know, and they were like, what the fuck, dude? We wanted a shaman. Like, they were disappointed, you know? And so his message was, so later on I'd go there with my jeans and the freaking shaman shirt, you know. I wouldn't say shit that would get them in trouble, but, you know, they want more of you. Your clients want the real you. It's what's really engaging today.
Let's talk about real. Party business on the top, pajamas on the bottom, baby.
Me too. So I've got my electric blue pants here. These are my workout pants from this morning, but my top is all business.
Yeah. Just giving her.
People want real. They don't want the polished stuff. They want the real stuff. So I'm happy that we've had this very real conversation, and I want to thank everyone again for tuning in, for making this a priority in your day. I think it's going to really open up a lot of possibility for people, a lot of expansion, not only for you, but for everyone that your work touches. So thank you again, Caitlin. Thank you everyone for tuning in.
Thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for, what we get to co-create here with all of this. And I'm going to unmute everyone so we can all say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Caitlin. Thanks, Vanessa.
Bye. Thank you guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.